Hello, this is not an official podcast episode. This is just like a demo, a trial. Just been wanting to say something. Not say something that makes it sound like I had something in mind that I wanted to talk about, but I don't have anything in mind. I just want to speak some words. I want to utter some words out of my mouth. um, it's a weird feeling because the whole of October I've been thinking about my podcast so much, but I even recorded an episode, which I have recorded several episodes over the past 2-3 months, but I didn't like any of those enough, and I didn't get around to editing them or even listening to them, even checking them out again. I literally just forgot about them, and since I only remember them after a long time had passed, I just didn't like them and decided to scrape them off. And yeah, been but well, October. It's weird how my brain works for like like months and time periods and weathers and season. Like time has a lot of importance in my mind because I'm like, oh, it's summer season and I need to feel this way and I need to do this. Or it's like it's nighttime and I want to be able to do Z things at night, or feel XYZ feelings. And similarly, it's been October and I love that there's this chill in the air. The autumn is around. October has been really fun. Not fun like chill like it is. Not chill in like my routine. Just I'm talking about the weather. It's been chill. The weather is chilly, cold, slightly. Not cold, but like a little bit of chill in the air. Not using the air conditioners anymore. And anyways, like there's this very um obvious change in the weather, and I just really love October. It's one of my favorite months, August and October, and to me, it feels like the month I can do the most amount of creative work in. I already talked about that. The autumn feels like the time when you can do a lot of creative things, and that's why since the beginning of October, before it even started, I've been thinking about my podcast a lot. I've been wanting to post something, but couldn't get around to actually doing that. And I actually had a very good idea for the podcast and wanted to change things up a little bit. And I was like thinking that I would have posted in October, so I was thinking that I'm coming back after quite some time, so it's good that I change things up, change the formula a little bit, the setting, etc. But I just couldn't get around to actually doing those things. I thought that I would be free in October, but well, that didn't happen. I also a lot of like new things or like changings in routines, a lot of things that were started before a few months before came to an end in October, and new old routines kind of started for me. I don't know how to explain it other way. And uh I actually thought I would resign in October. Like I planned my resignation back in August, like even in July, and actually, you know, conveyed my like resignation or a wanting to resign to my, well, quote unquote boss. There's a funny dynamic there, but I conveyed that message in August and September. The whole of September, I was very strong on that. I have given one month notice. October is when I stop coming to work. I will discontinue this job. Well, that didn't happen. Is sort of my resignation was not accepted, or maybe I did not, I kind of become lenient or whatever, just things. And well, October just passed. It's 24th of October today. Cannot even believe, like, I remember vividly thinking on the 15th of October, like in my mind I was talking to October, like as a person, that hey October, man, I love you, but you're already half gone. I wanted to do so much with you, or like in you, with you, in case that I was thinking of October as a person, but like it's actually a month. So yeah, hey October, can you just like stop for a moment? Because I wanted to do so much, but you're already half gone, you know? And now it's 24th of October, and I feel very sad that I let October slip through my fingers like it was August, if you get that reference. Uh, I'm gonna explain it. August slipped away like a August slipped away like a bottle of wine. August, the song, yeah. So for me, I guess October went past like that. It was it was not a bad time, mostly. Yeah, it wasn't super bad, but I'm just bummed that I couldn't do so many things that I wanted to do. One of the main things was make a comeback on my podcast, and I couldn't do that, and I'm really bummed about that because I've been so excited to record something and like change things up with my podcast and do all that stuff. But even though I had time on some days, I just couldn't get around to it because, in my mind is really fatigued because of this whole, thing that happened, that I wanted to resign in October, and I'm still going on my job in October, and my mind is really in this weird state that you were supposed to rest, but you are still going. And even if the workload is not as much, it's still, my mind is still really, really fatigued, like it's iron deficient, seriously. uh hmm, Talking about iron deficient, I got a lot of medical tests done this month as well. Lots have happened, yeah, but nothing that I wanted, nothing that I thought. Yeah. But podcast, yes, back a month ago, a month or more than a month ago, I was just thinking that I don't feel anything towards the podcast anymore, and I don't even have the time. Maybe it's one of those things that, I did some amount of it, and well, it's fine, discontinue or just fading into time. But I really don't want to end it. I really don't. Even if it has no grand future, it even if it has no like big fans or big platform or audience or whatever, even if the stakes aren't high, I do want to continue my podcast, because back in like maybe March or April, I was kind of like thinking from this perspective that I need more listeners, or I need more audience or engagement on my podcast. Like, I want to grow this like a proper project or whatever. But I don't think that way anymore. Maybe that would change. Autumn is just a really laid back time for mind. So maybe that's why my mind is like this. But I just want it to be a safe space, a cool place, a peaceful, most of all, a peaceful place where if anyone finds it, they just come and hang out, chill for a little bit. And it's very much, yes, is driven from my own wanting for a podcast like I'm trying to make. I'm not saying my podcast is best, obviously it's not, but I just want this kind of podcast, a chill podcast. That word chill, when you write chill music, lo-fi, chill beats, I want that kind of podcast. I did find something a few days ago. Um, it wasn't exactly a podcast, but it was something you can listen to, and it was fun. It was cool. I've been exploring that and really enjoying that because I go to YouTube and Spotify. Spotify podcast doesn't work in my country, so um, I go to Apple Podcasts as well and Pinterest, and I just write a bunch of things, a bunch of combinations like chill podcast, peaceful podcast, podcast with lo-fi vibe, podcast with peaceful vibe, podcast, slow podcast, um, you know, that kind of things. I write a lot of that and come up with absolutely nothing. Just a few days ago I found something which I'm grateful that I found that because it's kind of, yes, what I want, kind of, and it's been giving me some ideas as well. You know, it's important for you to have some kind of reference for the kind of work that you're doing. Yes, sometimes you can invent something totally new, but most of the times you need a reference for things, even if you get imposter syndrome, but you do need reference. And well, I need reference for my podcast, and that thing really helped. The thing that I found. Yeah. So that was a very long way of saying that I miss my podcast, but I don't have the energy to record a proper episode or an episode that I will continue liking after recording because I have scraped off so many episodes. Like, not so many episodes, but quite a few. And they were all properly made episodes, like proper topic, some research, some really good points in there, but I was just like, nah, nah, and nah. Yeah, it's a very dark night today. No moon, really, really dark, and slightly windy, and obviously the wind is chilly wind, chilly wind. Haha. I hope it rains soon. Yeah, it's been a little. It's a very windy night. Not hmm, not windy. It's a slightly breezy night, which I appreciate. And there are some stars. The Venus is pretty prominent. It's been prominent, I think, since the start of October. And the first day I noticed is note the first day I noticed the Venus, I was like, "Oh my God, hey you, long time no see." Or maybe I just didn't notice it. It just felt like, "Hey, you exist still," you know? And now it's big and bright every day there in the sky. I've been coming up on the rooftop a lot as well, and maybe that's also uh, inducing this feeling inside of me that I want to record my podcast again because, yes, it is very much inspired by my rooftop. So, yeah, I don't think I'll abandon my podcast. Hopefully, time won't do it to my podcast because I don't want to do it intentionally, or which I was planning on doing before, but not so much anymore. I think I really love my podcast. But one of my friends recently also said to me, "Hey, just coming as a random fan of your podcast. I really miss it. When are you gonna post again?" Or no pressure. I just want to tell you that I've been thinking about your podcast, and it was really sweet. I really liked that. Yeah, just that. And hmm, yes, that's all I wanted to say. Maybe I have a lot much more to say actually. I have lots inside my mind. I have been very, very forcefully trying to get back into my routines, not routines, just the things that made me me, which are very worldly and very non-serious kind of stuff, like watching something, an anime, and YouTube, YouTubers. Well, YouTubers, the ones I watch have always been with me. I never really stopped watching YouTube, but being involved in it more and not just watching it with a rotten brain. You know, I say a lot, and initially I was just gonna record this to send to my friend. Like nobody asked for it, but I was thinking, hey, I want to speak, and then I thought maybe I'll just speak something and then also send it to a friend of mine who we sometimes do this kind of thing. We send each other like really long messages, and like she was someone I was considering if I would want to send it to someone. Maybe I could send it to her. But now I think it's been too long that I've been speaking, and maybe I can post it on YouTube as like an unedited, raw, trial, scrapped off episode, something like that. Yeah, and oof, if I'm not gonna edit this, you'll know how much I stutter or how much I use the same words and how much I say and all the all the mess of an unedited raw. Yeah, guess that's it. I should stop speaking, but I really want to keep speaking. I love the night. The worst thing about my job is not being able to stay up late at night because I have to be at work in the morning, and I commute by a van that comes to pick me up very early in the morning. Sucks. Really, really sucks. Love being awake at night. I love the night. If I don't live the night, I become dead. I really become dead. Had my convocation this month. That went that went well. That was something. It was quite something, and I'm so sorry for not having a better way to explain it, but I don't want to explain it because that's like my own private little memory or thing I will cherish by recalling. So maybe later on in life I'll share that. So I'm graduated now officially, and yeah, well, that's that. I guess I'll stop talking. Maybe I'll just stop recording and continue talking. Well, that's a good idea. Anyways, I guess, yeah, maybe I should go. Sometimes autumn air really smells like it's burning. Because I guess somewhere it is burning.